Welcome to Bible Study with Jairus. Acts 10. God's perfect plan to lead the gospel from Jews to the Gentiles. This concept gives important insight into Peter's apostleship to the Jews. If people like James had seen the same vision, it might have been more difficult for him to understand what God was trying to convey. This is because James and the others were deeply immersed in the sense of Jewish privilege. A breakthrough to reach the Gentiles might have been more difficult if God had used James or other disciples. Peter seemed to be the most malleable one and the weakest link among these apostles. He lacked the higher education in Jewish religion, and at the same time he had a more flexible character. Because of his flexibility, Peter sprang into action as soon as God spoke to him in a vision. In other words, in order to pass on to the Gentiles the salvation he had prepared through the Israelites, God seemingly chose the most vulnerable and open individual, Peter. He placed the most open individual when placing the water line of salvation to the Gentiles, so that his grace of salvation could flow out most easily. Now let's look at how the Bible describes Cornelius. At Caesarea there was a man named Cornelius, a centurion of what was known as the Italian cohort, a devout man who feared God with all his household, gave alms generously to the people, and prayed continually to God. Cornelius, your prayer has been heard and your alms have been remembered before God. ESV. This passage shows us that Cornelius was probably affiliated with Judaism. In modern church vocabulary, he was a friend of the gospel or seeker of the truth. He was a Gentile, but he prayed continuously to God. His whole family feared God, he was generous with the common people, and he was respected by all, even among the Israelites. The Israelites did not have complaints or even false testimonies against him. The angel also praised him. He was such a blameless person that he seemed perfect.